Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 60 of Gamestack Podcast. We are Rickless, and we are Reckless. I am Shalene, and joining me is Vendortron.
Welcome, sir or madam. Oh, that's the wrong voice.
Wow.
That was definitely not what it was supposed to be. Let me try that again.
Welcome, sir or madam.
Better?
That's better. Yes,
Okay.
That's much better.
Had a little bug there. I'm doing good, Shalene. How are you doing?
I am also good. You may have noticed that we are Rickless and we are Reckless. Rick is enjoying some family time, so he couldn't join us today.
Indeed.
But we wish him the best. Everybody go and send Rick on Twitter. Rick McVick on Twitter. Just send him a happy face emoji with no context. Just send him smiley emojis with no context.
Yeah,
And,
just smiley emojis.
yeah.
That's it.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
So if you're watching us live, thank you. Hello. We're glad to see you. Give us a host on Twitch. And if you're not watching live, thank you for tuning in after the fact. And please tell your friends, spread the word about our little podcast and help us grow. Vendor, we have some new stuff happening in Discord. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh man, Discord is so lively. It's actually kind of crazy. Hold on, I got to pull up StatBot here because I got to tell you how crazy it is. So, it's a bustling place. With the current events that are happening around the world right now, we are seeing a massive surge in the activity across our Discord. And it's just people coming together and talking about stuff, not even COVID related, but a lot of it is COVID related. But we've added some new things to the Discord. So people wanted to talk about COVID, so they started talking in the Healthy Gamers channel, which I put the kibosh on that because the whole purpose of the Healthy Gamers channel is to promote health and talk about great things that gamers are doing that make them healthy. And so we thought maybe a COVID specific channel was necessary just for the interim until things settle down in a year or so. Maybe.
Do you really think it'll be that long before things
What?
calm
Did I say
down?
a year? I don't know. But it's totally, it's really active. We've got a lot of great people in the Discord. We have, let me see now, home. We have 383 members in the Discord. Yes. So remember like 4 months ago when we were like, man, we almost have 300 people in the Discord. Well, now it's like, man, we almost have 400 people in the Discord.
It feels like just yesterday that we were like, wow, we're going to hit 100.
Yeah, I know, right? We do have some new people that we do want to welcome into the chat after dark. Montgomery 91, Grim Persephone, Storm Breton, Did I Ask for Fries? Rob Rowe 19 and TJB 1001184. Welcome to the Discord community, guys. Make yourselves at home and feel free to mingle with everybody else and get to know everybody because it's really a great group of people.
It really is. We have such a lovely community in there. I feel so lucky that we have these people around us. I just best community out there.
Yep, indeed. We don't have any 5-star review shout out, Shalene. I'm sorry to report. But if you guys would like to leave us a 5-star review shout out, all you have to do is go to iTunes or Apple Podcasts, search We Just Love Games, either Gamestack Podcast or That Fallout Show, and leave us a 5-star review. And leave us a little comment with that review so we can shout you out on the show.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Vendor. And today we are going to talk about some news. We have some current events, some gaming news. We're going to chat about the games we've been playing. We've prepared a special segment considering the current events going on in our world. And we have a little email to read as well. We're going to start out, as always, with the news. Thanks always to Joseph Tao for helping us put together our gaming-related news. It's wonderful, those news emails he sends us. So thanks to Joseph Tao. We appreciate his hard work and knowledgeability. And this just in. Vendor, last week on that Fallout show, you told us a few things about the coronavirus, about COVID-19. It was
Indeed.
very educational. I learned a lot. I know my friends all learned a lot. How about you give us a little bit of an update on the situation?
Yes. So, in the interest of community, Rick and Shalene and I decided to add just a small portion of each show for the news to provide you guys, to provide our wonderful listeners and our community with just a quick update of the events that are going on around the world in case you don't get your news anywhere else. And given that my background is in public health and epidemiology, this is kind of double duty for me. So it feels good to also share that information and make sure that you guys get the most accurate information that you can.
Yeah, it is important to share those credentials as well. We're not just
Yes.
talking out about the air.
So for those of you who may have listened to the last episode of TFS and thought to yourself, who is this guy think he is? He's just telling us all these things. Like, just like, I'm a trained epidemiologist. So this is the moment we've all been waiting for our whole lives, us epidemiologists. This is our bread and butter. I spent 2 years studying epidemiology and outbreaks and viruses, and I spent the last 8 years working with viruses like hepatitis C, HIV, human-associated adenoviruses, and things like that. So that's kind of my credentials. But I do want to give you guys an update on COVID-19 and the outbreak as it stands. So right now, most recent data shows that we have 145,384 cases across the world, consisting of 5,416 deaths, and about 70,931 people have recovered so far from COVID-19. The total cases and total deaths are still increasing. And is concerning, of course. I'm not sure if you know, Shalene, but the United States has now declared a national emergency.
Right.
So it's certainly going to get worse, I think, before it gets better. This will probably last for, at the very least, several weeks, and possibly 2 or more months, as estimated by Dr. Anthony Fauci, who is a coronavirus expert, commenting to the CDC on some figures. He says, the worst case scenario, between 160 million and 214 million people in the US could be infected. Worst case scenario. But they also say, the best guess is maybe around 96 million, which is still a lot.
That is a lot.
Could last for months, maybe even up to a year. As many as 200,000 to 2 million people could potentially die. And my previous estimates of 500,000 people is now looking a little bit more conservative. International travel has been affected since our last episode. So the Czech Republic closed its borders. No one will be allowed to enter or leave the country. Turkey has grounded all flights to Germany, France, Spain, Norway, Denmark, Belgium, Austria, Sweden, and the Netherlands, which are halted until April 17th. Pakistan shut their borders as well and are limiting flights. Oman has already suspended tourist visas and all visitors for at least 1 month. Iraq has added Germany and Qatar to its coronavirus entry ban list, which now includes 13 countries. Qatar has already banned entry of people coming from India and 13 other nations. Ukraine has closed their borders. Slovakia has closed their borders. Israel has initiated 14-day quarantine for anyone entering the country. And the United States, as of today, has implemented the travel ban from Europe. And this applies to foreign nationals that have been to the country within the Shenzhen area within the last 14 days. Dr. Fokai is the director of the CDC. Thank you, Long Life Tiki. And as of March 11th, 2020, the World Health Organization has now classified COVID-19 as a pandemic, as you guys may already know. This assessment by the WHO is not unexpected. And I think describing the situation as a pandemic doesn't really change how the WHO is going to approach the situation. And I don't think it should change how countries around the world do so either. There's no known vaccine for COVID-19. However, many countries, including the US and Canada, have put forward substantial funds in research for teams to try to find vaccines and develop vaccines that will work with humans. Some good news coming out of Canada. A research team at the University of Saskatchewan has announced that they are moving into the next phase of trials testing a potential vaccine on animals. So that's very promising. So that's pretty much it for news updates on COVID-19. But what should you be doing right now? Social distancing is probably one of the most important things that you can do. If you can stay home and work from home, you definitely should. The majority of major large events have now been suspended or canceled. And major universities are now canceling classes, moving to an online format. Many employers are now asking people to either stay home if they're ill or work from home where necessary. You should also reconsider your travel. So at this time, the risk to travelers abroad will vary depending on the destination, as well as a person's age or health status. There are some destinations where there are recommendations to avoid travel or all non-essential travel. So I recommend that you check out your state or country's travel health notices before you decide to do so. The risk of COVID-19 may be increased in certain settings, such as cruise ships, heavily affected areas, international conferences, and large gatherings greater than 200 to 500 people. It's also really important for travelers to self-monitor for symptoms of COVID-19. This includes fever, dry cough, difficulty breathing for 14 days after returning from travel. So avoid places where you cannot easily separate yourself from others if you become ill. Even if you have mild symptoms, isolate yourself within your home as quickly as possible and call your local public health authority in your province, state, or territory and tell them your symptoms and whether or not you have traveled. Let them know whether or not you've had any direct contact with animals or another person that you suspect to be sick as well, and especially if they've had symptoms. So another really important thing that I want to note that nobody is really talking about, and that is, do not call 911. If you think that you have COVID-19 symptoms, calling 911 is not going to do anything but clog up the lines. And 911 is a specific phone line that's designed for immediate medical emergencies where ambulatory dispatch is necessary. So if you have a cough and you have symptoms, but you're still, lucid and active and otherwise able to function, 911 is not the number that you call. Call the health link in your area. For me in Alberta, it's 811. I don't know where it is in other places of the world, but you should definitely look that up.
Can I pop in with
Yeah,
just
go
a
ahead.
reminder to leave some supplies for everybody else out there? I work for City Hall, and we have an ambulance service. I manage the local ambulance service in addition to some other departments. And we were unable to acquire masks for our EMTs.
Yes. This was the second point I was going to get to, Shalene. So I'm glad that you mentioned it. And that is, save for people. Don't take what you need. You don't have to load up a shopping cart full of toilet paper because everyone else is doing it. That, my friends, is called groupthink. And it's just reckless panic buying, and it puts more strain on our system and takes away from the people who actually need it.
Yeah.
So
imagine being an emergency responder and not even having a mask.
Yes. Yeah. And people are irrational, but each interaction that you have with the healthcare system, while it is important, it also causes strain. So not just our supply and demand, our healthcare systems are going to be strained as well. So any unnecessary burdens that you yourself can avoid putting on the healthcare system might be better for everyone. So to go back to, inundating 911 with unnecessary phone calls, not necessary. Especially if you have mild symptoms. So those who are infected, though, who may have little to no symptoms, you may know or you may not know that you have symptoms of COVID-19 because they are similar to cold and flu, but they do take on the appearance of a fever, dry cough, difficulty breathing, and pneumonia in both lungs.
Right.
If you feel sick during travel, make sure that you inform the flight attendant, the cruise staff, or border services officer immediately upon arrival. they will decide whether or not you need further medical assistance from a quarantine officer. If you're ill and you must visit a healthcare professional, call ahead. Tell them when you are going to arrive that you have a respiratory illness, and you may be asked to wear a mask while waiting for or receiving treatment to prevent the spread of illness. You can do some things to protect yourself as well. Obviously, proper personal hygiene to reduce the risk of infection. Wash your hands often with soap, 20 seconds, saying happy birthday twice, everyone, especially after using the washroom, preparing food, eating, etc. You can also use alcohol-based hand sanitizer if soap or water does not work for you. If you do cough or sneeze into a tissue or the bend of your arm, not into your hand, and dispose any tissues that you've soiled almost immediately and wash your hands afterwards. Try to avoid touching your eyes or your nose or your mouth with unwashed hands. And then, of course, clean high-touch surfaces frequently with regular household cleaners, or you could use a 10% bleach solution, 10 mils and 90 mils of water. This list goes on, but I mean, I recommend that you take a good look around your house and decide on some common contact points. So light switches, toys, toilets, taps, phones, electronics, door handles, bedside tables, television remotes, all of those common contact points, railings and things like that. Make sure you wipe those down. So yeah. And just one closing remark quickly. I think that we are not out of the woods by any means. I think that we are likely to see more cases in the coming days in Canada and the US, including more instances specifically of community spread. The CDC actually expects that the widespread transmission of COVID-19 in the United States will occur. And in the coming months, most of the US population will be exposed. So yes. So widespread transmission could translate into larger numbers of people needing medical care at the same time. And the important thing to remember is that schools, childcare centers, workplaces, you might see more absenteeism. You're going to see mass gatherings that may be sparsely attended or postponed. Public health and healthcare systems will be overloaded. And there will be, increases in hospitalizations and deaths. Other critical infrastructures such as law enforcement and emergency medical services, as well as transportation, might also be affected. Healthcare providers will be overwhelmed. And, just remember that, there's no vaccine right now. So non-pharmaceutical interventions are important. Those are the best response that you can give yourself to handling the spread of the virus. So anyways, that's pretty much a quick, 5-10 minute update. I just wanted to share that with everyone and stay safe out there.
Thank you very much, Vendor. That's some really great information, and it's so nice to have a source of knowledge to help us kind of curb our panic. I mean, I've had a lot of anxiety. It's hard not to panic when everybody around you is panicking. It's infectious. And it helps. Yeah. It helps getting this kind of information.
Yeah, it does. And if you guys want to look for more information, consult the Center for Disease Control, consult the Public Health Agency of Canada, the World Health Organization. These are the best credible sources of information that you can have. Hearsay on forums, hearsay in our Discord, not necessarily the best accurate information. You have to go directly to those credible sources. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
But that's COVID news. Shalene, how has COVID totally obliterated our gaming industry?
Oh my gosh, Vendor. Everything is canceled. Everything is canceled. All of the world is canceled because of COVID. It's crazy, the events that are being called off all over the world. NBA suspended their season. There are no major sporting events. It's crazy. And this has extended into the gaming industry as well. WonderCon was postponed. The BAFTAs are going to be online this year instead of as an in-person event. And affecting us personally here at We Just Love Games, E3 was canceled. Yeah. We had big plans, guys. We had big plans this year for our E3 coverage, but the event was canceled due to caution regarding COVID-19, and it's for the best. Things have to be done in the interest of public health, and that's more important than anything else. But it is still somewhat disappointing, and it will affect the industry. It will affect the economy.
Yeah.
It's going to have a major effect.
Yeah, I just want to add one thing. So a lot of people think, there's this mentality where, there's 5 cases in my city. It's like, that's not a lot. Why is everybody panicking? And I just want to clarify that when health authorities say, that there's only 5 cases, what they're saying to you is that there's only 5 reported cases.
Right.
But we don't know what we don't see. And if we are not detecting people who are walking with COVID-19, who have not had an interaction with the healthcare system or been tested, that number is a lot greater, right?
Absolutely.
So, and it's kind of like mice in your house, where there's 1, there's 7. It's like the old saying goes, where there's 1 case, there's usually more. So just be cautionary, socially distance. And I think it's really good that E3 is canceled. I think, it really sucks, right? But
it's a drag, but it would have been a petri dish of infection.
A petri dish, yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder what other events are going to be affected. Like for me personally, I had 4 conferences between May and July, all canceled. I've booked travel for one of them, so I got to get reimbursed for that.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm really sorry that you can't go to E3. I feel bad.
Yeah, it was sad. I'd been planning on it. Hopefully Rick was going to make it this year, get to hang out. Would have been great.
Yeah.
But, it would have been like that joke Rick was making on our last show. It would have been The Last of Us.
Well, I hope not, but
yeah. So it was for the best. But we do have a little quote from the ESA. After careful consultation with our member companies regarding the health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, our employees, our exhibitors, and our lifetime E3 partners, we have made the difficult decision to cancel E3 2020. And they went on to add that they are looking to coordinate in an online experience to showcase industry announcements and news in June 2020. And we have, of course, E3 is just what's on the show floor. It's just the convention itself. The other events, like the press conferences from the major console manufacturers and major publishers, those are separate events from E3 proper. They're just held at the same time for convenience and that kind of thing. So we've been interested in finding out what's going to happen with those extraneous things. Phil Spencer from Xbox announced that given this decision, they will celebrate the next generation of gaming with Xbox via a digital event. And Ubisoft also announced that instead of a press conference, they're investigating having a digital event as well. And that's something that Nintendo has been doing for a few years now. Devolver has been doing it for a few years. I wonder if this will affect the show on a permanent basis. I feel like some of these companies may do this and realize it's easier, it's less expensive. We have more control over the message that gets out. And maybe we don't need that live experience after all.
Yeah, like we got to talk about the elephant in the room too. E3 was having major issues this year, even before COVID-19 became an issue.
Right.
Major collaborators pulled out.
Citing concerns. was planning to design an interactive show floor experience, and they pulled out before this cancellation. Jeff Keighley has hosted the Coliseum event for years and years, and he pulled out because he didn't like the direction that the show was taking. Yes.
Sony also not attending for a second year in a row. Big publishers like EA and Microsoft had press conferences during E3, but they've moved their presence off of the ESA trade floor. So yeah, it's interesting. I think that it's tough, you know, because especially for E3, but a lot of these festivals and events, the winter is kind of like a downturn in terms of the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's always sort of a lull, and a lot of businesses really rely on spring and nicer weather to sort of make that comeback. But all of these events are being canceled, so it's going to have some pretty major impacts to the entertainment industry for sure.
And what am I going to do with my vacation time now?
I don't know,
What am I going to
Shalene.
do with my vacation
You can't even
time?
go on a real
I can't even
vacation.
go on a vacation.
Well, maybe we can go on vacation in Sea of Thieves.
That'll work. We'll go
Yeah.
sailing for my
Yeah.
vacation. It'll be great. E3 2021 is still planned to happen as of now. People who purchased tickets to E3 this year are being refunded automatically. So no worries there if you purchased a ticket to E3. And yeah, I guess that's all the news for E3. So
Yeah, it's too bad.
it is. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. Do you remember a few episodes ago we talked about the Nintendo PlayStation prototype that
Yes.
a gentleman was looking to sell?
Yeah.
Well, it was purchased for $360,000 by the founder of Pets.com.
Pets.com?
Pets.com. The founder
What?
of Pets.com won this in an auction. Greg McLemore founded this website in the 90s before it was bought by Amazon, and he paid $360,000 to own this Nintendo PlayStation prototype. He said in an interview with Forbes, "I'm interested in sharing my passion for gaming. One of my areas of focus is the evolution of gaming, including how earlier arcade games inspired video games and how early video games influenced later innovation. I believe the Nintendo PlayStation fits in well with this focus. I'm looking not to have this machine just buried in a closet somewhere." He wants to, he has an extensive collection of coin-operated systems and gaming memorabilia, and he wants to build a museum that people would be able to visit to see his collection. So that's pretty cool. I am glad that it was purchased by someone who does want to display it. And yeah.
In the words of a very famous archaeologist, it belongs in a museum.
It does.
That's
does
where my
belong in a
stance
museum.
is on that.
And that's exactly where it's going to go. So thanks to Mr. McMore, founder of Pets.com.
Cool.
Yeah. So one of the weirdest things that we got out of the gaming industry last year was Death Stranding, of course. Death Stranding is some weird stuff. And of course, it stars Norman Reedus as the playable character. It was made by Hideo Kojima and his team. And Norman Reedus has announced that he is in talks to do other stuff with Hideo Kojima.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. Who knows what this is going to be?
Right?
There have been rumors suggesting that Kojima Productions is working on a new Silent Hill game. And of course, that was what the original PT playable teaser that featured Norman Reedus was a Silent Hill project. So then there was the whole breakdown between Konami and Kojima, and it was a disaster, and this project died, and everybody was sad. But Reedus did make this comment. It was during an episode of Wired's Answers the Web's Most Searched Questions, in which famous people discuss Google autocomplete suggestions based on their own name. And he explained that his friendship with Kojima has resulted in further talks for games beyond Death Stranding. We did Death Stranding, which was a big hit, and we're in talks to do other stuff. So,
Interesting.
yeah. I don't know where exactly these rumors are coming from that it will be a Silent Hills project. But I think that would be cool. I thought PT was amazing, and I'd love to see something out of Kojima's crazy brain to be in this series. I think that would be a great survival horror Sunday game.
He's kind of like the Quentin Tarantino of video games.
A bit, yeah. He's something else. Yeah.
Oh boy. I think I would like to give Death Stranding a try. It does need to come down in price though. I'm not gonna pay $80 for that. Nope.
Yeah. I need to go back to it, but all I do is play Sea of Thieves anymore, so
Yeah.
I guess I never will.
No complaints there.
Yeah, it's good times. Well, our next article is not loading, but I will say that Reggie Fils-Aimé, who was previously the president of Nintendo America, has been appointed to GameStop's board of directors. And I don't know why this article won't load, but just going off of my memory, this happened earlier this week, and it was the best day for GameStop stock in a year, easily in a year. So it's plainly a step to try and save this failing company. I don't know if Reggie will be able to pull this off, but he's a smart fellow. You know, he has a lot of business acumen. He has a lot of experience in the industry. If anybody can save GameStop, it's Reggie.
Yeah. I was in a GameStop last week. I often like to frequent the mall on my lunch break.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just decided to hop on the train and head on down to the mall, and I went into GameStop. And the moment I walked in, I just had this feeling overcome me of like, I just feel so in the right place right now. Like everything that's in here I like. It's just I just love all of this. And I don't want GameStop to go away. I don't.
Yeah.
I think they should keep fighting the good fight.
I think there's a place in the world for brick and mortar stores, and
They have a lot of great merch, a lot of which you can't find online. You just can't, you know. The thing about GameStop is that they don't cycle through their stock. They always keep it on the floor. So you know, if you want to, you can potentially find some little diamonds,
right.
In a bin or something from a couple years ago that, you know, you'll never get online anymore. So
yeah, another thing that separates the in-person shopping experience from shopping online is the ability to browse. You know, when you go online to buy a video game, you know what you want and you go purchase it. But in a store, you know, you could be captured by the art on a box and try an entirely new experience that you maybe never would have otherwise. There's a place for it. There's a place for it in the world. And
I really like GameStop. I hope that they do well. We'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, good luck to them.
Mm-hmm.
And our next article takes things a bit more of a serious note. This is a Gizmodo article by Joanna Nellius. It is a Minecraft library that provides a platform for censored journalists. This article was written yesterday, and it states that today is World Day Against Cyber Censorship. And that is a day that was launched by Reporters Without Borders in 2008 to raise awareness of how some governments around the world censor free speech online by blocking keywords on social media, removing articles and blogs, or in some cases, jailing and even executing journalists.
Looking at you, Russia.
And with the World Health Organization officially declaring the spread of COVID-19 a pandemic, now it's more important than ever to fight against censorship, and you can do that through Minecraft. I have a little anecdote about this. My mom, I've mentioned earlier in previous episodes that my mom plays an MMO strategy game on mobile, and the chat client in that game censors coronavirus. It censors out the word virus.
Really?
It does. Yeah. Yeah. They can't use the word virus. They can't use coronavirus. They can't use COVID. So
it's wild.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
Well, and you know, the funny thing is like censorship does nothing. Because if we look at countries where there is information censored, and then we look at like North America, the panic is still all the same.
Absolutely.
It's all the same. There's nothing is different. So
Yeah.
there's censorship in Canada. Like there's some sites that I can't see in Canada that you guys can see. We've ran into that issue before.
We have. It's odd.
Yeah.
But this project is called the Uncensored Library. It's spearheaded by Reporters Without Borders and built by Blockworks and DDB Berlin. It is a place within Minecraft that you can read the works of censored journalists from Russia, Mexico, Egypt, Vietnam, and Saudi Arabia. Unlike news websites or personal blogs, Minecraft is still accessible in countries that tightly control what is reported about their government, and Reporters Without Borders is using this loophole to bypass internet censorship. A quote from the Uncensored Library on their website says, "Their forbidden articles were republished in books within Minecraft, giving readers the chance to inform themselves about the real political situation in their countries and learn the importance of press freedom." There are two ways that you can access this library. For Windows 10, you can download this map from the Uncensored Library website.
Which I just put in our chat for us.
Fantastic.
So anybody who's looking for that right now.
Extract the file and save it in your .minecraft folder under appdata/roaming. And for Mac, you would find the folder in Library Application Support Minecraft Saves. And you can also connect to the Uncensored Library's Minecraft server to access it without having to download the map. There are a few caveats. If you're trying to download and install the map from your own computer, it will only work on the Java version of Minecraft, not on the Windows 10 version. This could be the case with the Mac version as well. And if you're trying to access the server, it will only work with Minecraft version 1.14.4. But it's not hard to roll back the version within the Minecraft launcher under installations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this library is pretty amazing. Definitely give this a Google and check out some of the screenshots. They did an amazing job with this. It's divided into 6 sections, and 5 of which are the works of censored journalists. 1 is for Reporters Without Borders. And at the main entrance to each section, there is a pedestal with a book on it that contains information about the current state of government censorship within that country. And it lists what number it ranks on World Press Freedom Index. So there's an archive that details who the journalists are featured in each section, the architecture of the building and what it represents. Vietnam has a labyrinth leading to the censored material, and that represents how difficult the Vietnamese government makes it for citizens to access information.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating. There are rows and rows of books, but don't be intimidated. The most important texts are at the center of the rooms, and those are the readable materials. So, there may be more work added to this project in the future. It is a very clever way to circumvent censorship, and I love that they've used Minecraft to make this happen. So
it's I think that this is absolutely the most amazing thing that I've ever seen in Minecraft.
It's really special.
And I've seen people build some pretty crazy things in Minecraft, but this is next level.
This is a case of using gaming for good.
It's wonderful. The intricacies of the architecture of the library is just absolutely beautiful. I can see some sort of like to scale model being built and erected as a monument somewhere in the world, probably in the US. I do really love the hand with the pencil at the end of the front of the building. It's like, we will prevail.
Yes, the pen is mightier.
Yeah, the pen is mightier. I love it. It's awesome. I'm almost tempted to play Minecraft now just to explore.
It's really cool. Have you played much Minecraft in the past?
I played Minecraft during a 24-hour stream for Extra Life once with Jess, which was actually quite a bit of fun, but I still couldn't get on board with the whole specific graphics type.
Right.
That the game takes on. So.
It's very unique. So, yeah, as with your love of building, I think you might enjoy a bit of Minecraft. We should play sometime.
Well, knowing now that beautiful things like this can be created, challenge accepted.
Yes.
Challenge accepted.
Indeed. And so that we can finance our purchase of Minecraft to build these amazing things. Let's find out what's going on in the world of GameStock. Give us the news, Vendor.
Well, reported in US dollars as of 12:37 p.m. Mountain Standard Time today. Sony is down $7.76, closed at $53.65. Microsoft down $17.47, sold at or closed at $144.59. Nintendo down $2.38, closed at $39.07. Take-Two up $3.52 somehow, closing at $110.50. Activision is down $2.66, closing at $55.02. Ubisoft also down $2.17, closing at $12.68. EA down $7.53, closing at $93.22. And Tencent Gaming closed at $45.55, down $3.53. And the market this week, Shalene, has been a disaster. A disaster. The Canadian stock market in particular saw the largest plunge it has seen in 80 years. 80. The US not far behind, also having terrible gains. But it's not all that bad. The stock exchange in Canada seen a 10% rebound today, as the government stimulus was injected to ease the economic impact of COVID-19 and the drastic crash in oil prices. Oil barrels are selling for $13 a barrel right now.
Wow.
Which is the last time we seen barrels this low was, I think, 2008, maybe. And despite regaining some of the ground, it gave the market gave up its biggest one-day drop on record on Thursday. The market still wound up with more than 15% lower on the week as economists warned a recession to come. And this is quite scary. The Dow Jones, as we reported on the last episode of GameStock, had dropped the most points in history ever. The S&P particularly has lost over $5 trillion in the last 2 weeks. And things are desperately trying to recover, but it's a slippery slope we're going down. The Canadian dollar traded for $71.94 US on as of today, compared with an average of $72.36 on Thursday. So it's not just the markets that are dropping. Our currency is also being affected as well. And financials, telecommunications, consumer sectors are also posting double-digit percentage increases, which is a really good thing. The only thing we have to do is wait. But the best advice, you guys, don't sell your RSPs, don't sell your 401ks. Just hold fast. For the love of God, do not sell your retirement savings, because that will put us into a full nosedive. Head on. But there is some good that comes with it. I bought into Zoom video communications this week, so
It is a buyer's market.
yes, I anticipate that a lot of people are going to be using video conferencing software in the coming months. So I bought into Zoom. I'm also thinking about buying into Royal Bank, Pembina Pipeline, as well as Visa, because they all dropped 30% this week in their stock price, but they're still holding really good dividends. So
I was thinking of buying into Charmin.
Charmin Ultra. Maybe a little bit of Clorox, some Lysol. Lysol's probably a good stock to buy right now as well. I think Lysol is actually owned by Clorox, isn't it?
I don't know.
Anyways, that's GameStock for you.
Thank you,
Hold
Vendor.
fast, everyone. Don't sell all your stuff.
Gracious.
So stressful.
It is stressful, and the only thing that's really helping me cope with the stress of all this has been video games. Vendor, what have you been playing?
Oh my God. I know, right? Video games. Well, Shalene, I got back to cycling.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a trainer, and the one that I
Now,
had, like,
describe what the trainer is for people who don't know.
yeah. So I have for the winter, because Canada, a an indoor smart trainer that my professional bike hooks up to. So basically, the back axle hooks up, and there's a wheel, like my back wheel on my bike, comes in contact with another smaller wheel on the trainer, and so the wheel spins that sort of pulley or that spin wheel, and that's how you get like RPMs and stuff. So I had that trainer, which I bought from one of the docs in my office that I work with for $500. And when 4 Mile was in town staying with me, I thought, I'm going to sell this because I don't use it. It's not working right for my system, and I just want to get something different. So I ended up selling it on Kijiji, which is like Craigslist for you guys, for $500.
Nice.
So I bought it secondhand for 500. I sold it secondhand for 500. Everybody wins. So I sold it to an EMT that lives in my town. His name was Derek. So I hope you're enjoying it. Derek, if you're listening. Probably not. But I did buy a new trainer. And this trainer specifically, the back wheel on my bike comes off, and the chain hooks directly up to the trainer. So it's called a direct drive trainer. And so it's supposed to be more accurate and stuff. So anyways, I got my Zwift running up again, and now I'm doing more health streams. The health streams are back. And it's absolutely fantastic. I did the volcano track for my first go around, which was really tough because I'm on a single speed bike. So it was like really difficult to get up the hills. Yeah. But I had people in the chat cheering me on. That was nice because I streamed it. I've also been flying in X-Plane 11. So I pulled out and I dusted off the yoke and I hooked it up to my PC, and
Okay, what's a
I
yoke?
started flying. Yoke is it's the steering thing for the planes.
Oh, so you have a separate one?
Yeah, did you? Oh, I didn't show you this. Hold
No,
on.
so that's separate from the steering wheel for the bus simulator.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, that's a
Okay.
wheel. That's a wheel.
Okay. I'm excited to see this. We're just sitting here waiting together while Vendor
Okay, I don't know if
goes
you
to
can
get his
see it.
equipment.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So this is the yoke. It basically
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's got a bunch of switches on it.
That is super fun, Vendor.
And it, like, you can turn it and it goes down and out.
And that's like in a plane. Like that's the same style of thing that they have in an actual plane.
Yep. So I've been waiting for it to go on sale, and it finally went on sale. So I picked it up, and I've been flying, and it's wonderful. It makes such a difference. I got new scenery. So
really?
in X-Plane 11, you can download. It's kind of like DLC, but they call it scenery. And so for airports that you fly to, you can download specific scenery if there's scenery available. So for Albuquerque, for example, I could get scenery for that. And it would take the existing really crappy airport buildings and runways and stuff, and it sort of beefs it up and makes the graphics better, makes it look more realistic.
And it would look like the Albuquerque Sunport.
Absolutely, to a T. That's only if somebody has made Albuquerque.
Well, they should, because the Albuquerque airport's actually quite nice.
Yeah. So I downloaded the Edmonton airport and Calgary because I've been doing those flights back and forth because it's what I know, and I'm just trying to get practice in, but it's really hard to land. It's really, really hard. Landing is an art. It is this thing. I don't know. It's just so hard. And I'm landing in perfect conditions. Like there's no rain, there's no snow, there's no wind, there's not even like a bird farting off the port side. It's just like perfect conditions, and I still can't get it quite down. But I did figure out how to use the auto land feature in the airplanes, which is nice because now I can actually land it with auto land. So I don't know if that's cheating or not, but
Hey, if it works, if the
yeah.
passengers survive.
So 787 Centauri, the 787 Centauri, you can find him on Twitch. He's a streamer, plays a lot of FSX, Microsoft Flight Sim, and he I've been watching him and kind of learning from him and stuff, and I've been watching his stream for a while, and I sent him a webcam actually because he was trying to save up to get a webcam, and I said, well, I've got an extra one here, I'll just send it to you. So I sent it to him all the way in, oh God, where is he now? Singapore, I think. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, the other day, I said, do you have some extra time to do a flight with me? And you can sort of watch what I'm doing and then, point out where I'm making mistakes. So we hopped on a Discord call and I shared my screen and we did a flight from Edmonton to Calgary. And it was awesome because he went through like the checklist with me.
Oh, nice.
And, he's like, okay, now we're going to do this, blah, 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 blah. Make sure you do this. He showed me how to calculate the fuel, which I didn't know how to do.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So it was really cool because he's actually training to become a pilot.
Oh, really?
He's in the military right now doing mandatory service. But once he gets out, he's going to apply to do formal training to be a pilot. So anyways, yeah, he was showing me all of the science behind the avionics of X-Plane 11 and the Boeing 737-800. So I like how complicated it is. It's been a real learning curve, and I feel so like fulfilled and accomplished that I can even start the plane.
Right.
Because like starting the plane is like a 14-step process before you can even get the lights on, like so
do you think it's a pretty realistic simulator?
Oh yeah. So this X-Plane 11 is an FAA approved simulator for Boeing.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, so it's the simulator that Boeing uses. Yeah, it's pretty standard.
That's neat.
So the whole reason why I've got into flight sim is because I saw Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020.
Yes.
And
it looks
amazing.
My
God, it is amazing. Every single blade of grass, every brick, every cat, it's all there. They've modeled our entire planet to the T. 37,000 airports. Every airport in the world is going to be in Microsoft Flight Sim. You guys got to watch the videos on the website. It'll blow your mind. It's crazy.
Does it have even like the tiny little airports?
Yes, Shalene, you could fly a helicopter and land in the middle of your town.
That is
and
amazing.
We're look out the window and your house and your car will be sitting there. Like, I'm serious. Like, it's crazy how detailed it is. I don't even know if my computer can run it.
Wow.
Anyways, so I've been playing X-Plane 11 because I'm training for Microsoft Flight Sim.
This is exciting.
X-Plane 11 is the stepping stone.
When it comes out, you can stream it, and we'll fly to my town.
Yeah, when it comes out, you can be my first officer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll be the stewardess.
Yeah. It's really cool. Like I have a little iPad on the side, and I can like change the lighting in the cabin for the passengers.
Nice.
And I can tell the airline stewardess to like send out snacks or like prepare for landing and stuff. Yeah, it's quite cool. So
that is so great.
So yeah, that's X-Plane 11. It was a little bit frustrating to get that scenery up and going though. Oh my God. It was just like, it was a pain. Like, it just wouldn't work. I was emailing back and forth with the guy who developed the scenery package, and the files were just a mess. And finally I got it to work. And yeah, it's fine now, but yeah. But I've also been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves to kind of top things off. And playing Sea of Thieves with you.
Indeed.
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, My character has grown so much. Like I've leveled up in so many things and I have so many amazing outfits. You know what I don't have though is boat skins.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't bought any sails or boat skins or capstans or anything like that. But I've been playing a lot by myself too, just in a sloop, and I'm getting a lot better at solving the riddles.
Mm-hmm.
And also doing X marks the spot, because like we would like, come up to an island, drop anchor, and Rick and Archon would be gone, and they're digging up treasure chests, and I'm like still looking at
Yeah,
the map.
before you and I have our bearings,
Yeah,
they've
I'm
already
like,
got it. They've already got the chest. They're
right?
loading it onto the boat.
It's crazy. And I'm looking at the map and I'm like, okay, there's an X there. And then I'm looking at that tree and then I'm looking at the map and I'm looking at the tree and I'm like, do I have to go right or left? And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to go right and see. And then I'm like digging holes randomly everywhere because I don't know where the chest is. But I have to say though, like when you and I and Archon and Rick play together, or even if it's just you and I and Archon, we've gotten really good at sort of anticipating each other's next moves.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
the ship just kind of works seamlessly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like when we're ready to depart, sails are down, they're in the right direction. We're raising anchor, somebody's on the wheel, another person is refilling the cannons if they need to be refilled. And yeah.
Yeah,
I
I got a chuckle out of you the other day when we were playing and Archon popped on and he started, working the sails and stuff. And you said, "Oh my gosh, this is like driving an automatic. It's like going from a manual transmission to an automatic."
Yeah. Yeah. Archon is he's a sea ninja. He's a pirate ninja. He just like zips around the ship and stuff is suddenly done faster than you can even I'm like, okay, I'm going to go load the cannons. So I go down and I get some balls and then I come back up and the cannons are loaded.
He's
and
amazing.
I'm like, okay, I guess good job, everyone. I'll just stand here. So yeah, I do love it though. One thing that I've learned, and this was just last night actually when we were playing, was I now know how to survive on the skelly ships. Don't take bananas with you. I was taking bananas with me when we would, when we like fight the skelly ships and then they would
Right.
like crash into us and then I'd hop over. Well, I learned that if you take like a pomegranate or a coconut, you can survive easily because it gives you more life.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
bananas are really more useful for when the crisis is over and you need to rebuild your health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find they're also useful too, like if let's say you're at like a quarter health or something, and then you eat a pomegranate and it fills your bar, but there's just a tiny, tiny little bit left, and you don't want to eat another pomegranate because it would be a waste. You just have a banana.
Right.
And it's fine, right? So, yeah. I've getting better at Sea of Thieves. And I'm like super rich now. Well, I mean, by my definition, I'm like super rich. I have like 300,000 gold, which is like a lot because I remember when like 20,000 gold was a lot. So, and I have a bird now. His name is Iago.
Iago is everything. I love him.
Yeah, he's got a little commander outfit with a little hat, and he really, really likes fish.
He does. Iago loves fish.
Like, I went to show a fish to Rick, and Iago just like ate it, and I was like, what? Okay. And I'm like standing there with like half a fish.
Oh,
he ate it. Oh no, that was Purple Rain.
It was Purple Rain that ate half the fish.
Yeah, and then he got sick. Poor little guy.
He did. He threw up everywhere.
Anyways, why don't we let's just segue into your Sea of Thieves adventure.
Oh
and
gosh.
I'll just add to it as you go along because it's all part of the same, right?
We've been doing a fair bit of fishing together, which has been fun. We went out together one day, just you and I.
Yeah.
And we went fishing, and Vendor would catch the fish. I would cook them up. We'd go trade them in at the sea post. And it was just the funniest thing because Iago would perch on the other side of the stove and just watch as I cooked the fish, and he'd be like so interested in the fish. And he's just watching, and he'll look at me, and he'll look at the fish, look at me, look at the fish. And that was when I discovered that he loved fish, because I fed him one, and he just loved it so much. I tried to feed one to my monkey, Purple Rain, and he was offended. Like, I had offended his ancestors when I tried to feed this monkey this fish. Like, he was very cross with me. So...
Which is funny, because I think it would kind of be the other way around.
I would think so too, yeah.
Like, I would think monkeys would eat fish over...
I believe they're omnivorous.
Macaw?
Yeah. And I don't know. Some birds eat fish. I don't know about macaws. I don't know if they're fish eaters, but...
Yeah.
In Sea of Thieves they are.
It's really fun to fish, though. I've gotten really good at it. I almost never snap my line now.
Nice.
Unless, Rick is yelling at me because I'm supposed to be helping with sales and I'm like battling a trophy fish off the back of the ship or something like that. But yeah, I've caught a few good ones. You've caught a few good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And fishing it's a different game.
It is. It's very relaxing. There's no pressure.
Yeah.
You're not really afraid when you see other pirates, because so what? They're going to get a couple of your fish.
Whatever.
It's not a big deal.
Now, if it was
on the boat is worms.
If it was like one of those rare like trophy stormfishes that are worth 15,000, I'd be like, we have to get to a trading post now. Because I can't believe how much some of those fish are worth.
And it's fun experimenting with baits and different weather conditions and locations.
Yeah.
In terms of the fishing, it's very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, we should do a segment on Sea of Thieves fishing one day.
We should.
And talk about like all the fish that you can get, how to catch them, what bait you need to use.
That would be fun. That would be very fun. Yeah.
So what else have you been doing in Sea of Thieves?
That's all I play anymore is Sea of Thieves. I love it so much.
It's so good.
It's really funny.
I mean, how long has it been out for?
A couple years.
Right?
It's like 2 years maybe? I want to say it came out in 2018. But spring of 2018 maybe? I don't know, but it's an older game, and it's fantastic. I adore it. I love it. It's really funny because you've just gotten a little more into it more recently. You've been spending more time on it. And prior to that, I had been playing a lot with Archon. And I feel a little bad for him because when you're on, I don't help him anymore. we were good partners when we were a duo,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But now that you're on, we go off and we goof around.
Yeah, or it's like, that it's that scene in the Goonies when the two girls see each other and they're covered in gems and they're like, "Oh my God, I love your ear. Oh, that necklace is those pearls. What did you see?" And they're like, "Get a move on."
Exactly. We're over there comparing outfits. We're fishing. We're looking at different equipment. "Oh, I love your fishing pole. Where did you get that?" And meanwhile, Archon's up there completely by himself. Running the ship, fighting a skeleton ship, just doing everything.
I mean, let's be honest. If we didn't have Archon, we wouldn't have time to do all the things that we love to do.
Exactly.
So
I do feel a little bad because I help him much better when we're a duo, but it's so much fun. It is so much fun hanging out.
I'm really excited for the new content.
We got a little taste of it last night. All four of us jumped on, yourself and Rick and Archon and I. We all jumped on together. It was difficult. The servers were being problematic. We had to do tricky stuff to get all of us on there. You had to do like a looking for group post and then...
which didn't work.
Rick joined my game and you joined Rick's game.
Yeah, we did we daisy chained our way in. So what happened is Shalene started a game with a galleon, and then Rick was able to join Shalene's game by going Windows G, hitting the Windows G command to pull up the Xbox overlay. And then Rick was able to send me an invite through Windows G, which I was able to get through Windows G. And then I did the same thing for Archon. So we just like daisy chained our crew into the game last night because the Xbox console companion just totally, I
It
don't
took
know.
like half an hour to get us all on the boat. It took
Yeah.
forever.
It took at least 30 minutes.
We didn't
Hopefully
even have
we don't
time
have
to
the
start
same
the tall
issues
tale.
tonight.
We better not. I'll be sending angry letters to Phil Spencer. Fix your stuff, Phil Spencer. Of course, he doesn't have anything to do with the Sea of Thieves servers, but we had fun testing out some of the new things. We did get to try out the new cannonball types. There are chain cannonballs that have two smaller balls connected by a chain. You can launch those at the masts and at the wheel, the capstan, and they are an instant kill to those items. If you hit the body of the ship, the hull of the ship, they produce a much smaller hole than your traditional cannonballs. And there is the blunderball, I believe is what it's called, which is basically the fireball, but it has shrapnel in it. It's got like shotgun pellets.
Yeah.
And those are just a zany fun time. I did have to test one out, and I may have thrown it at our dear Vendortron.
Yes, which instigated an all-out dock war with these gunpowder balls.
But then when you hit the gunpowder ball, when you hit somebody with the gunpowder ball, it makes them kind of jump.
Yeah, they kind of like bounce out of the way.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny.
She's forgetting to tell you all that she also blew me up with like 5 powder barrels.
Okay, so we were at a skeleton fort, right? We were doing one of those gift voyages, and Archon is off digging up the gifts for the mission, and Vendor is
translation.
Yes,
Archon is
he's
off
doing the
actually
work.
doing the
He's
work.
doing the work for the quest
Again,
like he does, and poor guy. I don't know why he hangs out with us. I really don't. And Vendor was gathering up gunpowder barrels and putting them in a little pile to load them up on the ship. And he had recently impugned my sailing abilities. And I was greatly hurt. I was wounded. It was a blow to my ego, and it was a terrible blow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Terribly
sorry.
Yes, this maligning of my ship piloting ability. And I was rather cross with him. I was rather cross. And as he brought a gunpowder barrel to set in the stack, there were about 5 of them in the stack.
Mm-hmm.
I may have fired a little shot and blown him up. Just a little.
And then my trust in her was totally like degraded for the rest of the night. I was like, what are you doing with that barrel? Where are you going with that barrel? What are you doing with that gun? Why are you taking your gun out? Also, hi to 787 Centauri. We were just talking about our flight experience in the before we got to Sea of Thieves. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, Sea of Thieves.
It has. It's been great. It's been
great. And I got to see the underwater temple cavern puzzle thing.
Oh yeah, the one for Stars of a Thief.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that Stars of a Thief tall tale. We have tried that quest like so many times. We probably tried it 5 times and we had 1 success because we had terrible luck with that. Oh. Once we were attacked by other pirates, once we ran out of time, and it was just one bad thing after another. Yeah. But we've got a couple more completions on that. We're trying to get all of the commendations for that one. I'm really excited to get the little spyglass, the special spyglass.
Yeah.
Cosmetic. Yeah. I love it. And now we have the new one that we'll probably try after the show.
Hearth of Fire.
Yes, Heart of Fire.
Heart of Fire.
That continues the story of the Seabound Soul quest. So I'm very excited to check that out. That's all the Sea of Thieves stories that I really think of offhand. I've also been playing a bit of Pocket Camp. I know I've talked a lot about Pocket Camp, but we're going to mention it just a little bit now because we are close, guys. We are a week away from the release of Animal Crossing New Horizons. I am excited. Our mod, Jess, she's excited. A lot of people out there in the community, very excited. And in honor of this launch, they've done a little crossover event with Pocket Camp. And it's adorable. There's a fishing tourney going on right now. And the fish that you catch are very like high resolution fish, like you're going to find in New Horizons. The fish, they look fantastic. I'm so excited. And Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, to clarify. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. And it's so fun. This is a game that I play with my mom sometimes. And she actually sent me a message the other day to tell me that this fishing event had started. And she said, that raccoon brought his kids to work. It's adorable. So Tom Nook, the raccoon, has his nephews, Timmy and Tommy.
Oh my gosh, really?
And they're all there at the fishing tourney. And Mom thought it was cute. It is pretty cute.
I love that your mom's into it.
Oh yeah, she's the best. But yeah, Pocket Camp has this event. So if you really, really need your Animal Crossing fix while waiting for New Horizons, definitely check out Pocket Camp and work on the fishing event. You can find me on there. In the Discord, we've pinned all of our friend codes, so you can check that out. And we're super looking forward to New Horizons. But that's it. That's all I have for my gameplay. I did have a little segment that I wanted to do very briefly. Yes, because of current events that are going on. You know, this COVID-19, it's some serious business. A lot of people are having to stay in their homes to slow the spread of this disease. And I just thought we could talk about some games to play in quarantine. So, yes. Okay. While you're in quarantine, we've got a few different categories. Our first category is games about plagues and viruses.
Naturally.
Yeah. So, hearing about all of this, a lot of these things, all I could really think about was a couple of games like The Division 2, which feels very, very similar to the current feeling in the news right now. I just wanted to play The Division. I was just, every time I watch the news, I'm driven to play The Division.
Have you played it? Have you played it yet?
Oh yeah, it's great. That's that shooty game that Rick and I play.
Yeah, I know, but have you played it recently?
Not recently, no.
Okay,
no.
Yeah, so.
But
okay.
Also, the Dishonored series is another one that came to mind. The first Dishonored game features a rat plague. Dishonored 2 has got a locust plague. A Plague Tale Innocence was our game of the year last year. Features the rat plague. The Resident Evil series has got the T-virus. So that's another one that if you're in the mood to check out some plagues and viruses in video games. Also Plague Inc., in which you play as the plague. So you can decimate humanity on your own. Did you have any other games about plagues or viruses?
I'm still trying to think. The only one that I can think of is a board game, Pandemic.
Tell me about Pandemic.
You've never played Pandemic? No. So Pandemic is this board game. There's like a world map, and then people are randomly assigned different roles, and you have to everybody has to work together to minimize the spread of the infection.
Oh, interesting.
It's an awesome board game. My partner and I play it all the time. We love playing it.
Sounds fun.
And Archin in the chat says it's hard to win, and yes, he is correct. It's very, very difficult to win because we all have to work together, and you have to have the right roles and make the right decisions at the right times, and it's very, very difficult to win. So, but yeah, if you guys haven't played the board game Pandemic, I highly recommend it.
That sounds like definitely a game that would be interesting to play.
It's one to play if your power goes out, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't play video games.
I also have a category of apocalyptic scenarios in video games. So we can get some practice in just in case this turns into an apocalyptic situation. We'll have some practice. We'll be prepared. We'll be ready to face. The Fallout series, of course, is near and dear to all of our hearts. You know, you can play the Fallout series and you can hoard toilet paper in a video game, which is much better than doing it in real life.
Yeah.
The Left 4 Dead series will help you get ready just in case COVID turns into zombies. Just in case, you know. Can't be too prepared. The Walking Dead Telltale series, so that you can prepare yourself to make morally complicated decisions. The Last of Us is a bit of a combination of all of this. You know, we've got the cordyceps virus, creating these clickers in The Last of Us. We have moral dilemmas. We have an apocalyptic scenario. It's everything come together. It will prepare you for The Last of Us 2 coming out this summer.
We should do a playthrough of The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah. It's a great game. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah. Because you've done a playthrough of it already.
I have. Yeah, I played it when it came out. It's been quite a while, but it's a really good game. So that would be good. And the final one on this list is PUBG. PUBG isn't technically an apocalypse, but I feel like playing PUBG right now would be really good preparation for going grocery shopping. You know, everybody, you drop into Pachinki, you've got to run, get the best gear you can get, and get out alive. So
pretty much.
PUBG or any battle royale of your choice would be some great training for getting some supplies during the COVID pandemic. And we've also got a category of some games to distract you from what's going on in the real world. And this category is things that I just really wanted, things that are going to suck you in, you know, things that are going to pull you entirely out of the world and into the video game you're playing.
Okay. What do you got?
Animal Crossing, of course. Yes, Animal Crossing is perfect for this. You can go live your tiny life. Yeah. It's adorable. Pick some fruit, plant some flowers, hang out with your animal friends. It's precious. It's wholesome.
You're ridiculous.
The Mass Effect series is fantastic. It's a sprawling epic in which you get to be the kind of hero you want to be. It's sci-fi, it's the future, it's a wonderful, wonderful game. You can date a hot alien. It's going to be great. It's going to be play Mass Effect. The Grand Theft Auto series.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I know this is one that's near and dear to your heart as well.
Well, especially Grand Theft Auto 5 because California.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's sunny. It's nice. It's just a good time.
Indeed. I may not be going to Los Angeles this year, but I can go in Grand Theft Auto 5 to Los Santos. You sure can. And I can steal cars. I can shoot things with rocket launchers. It'll be fabulous. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game that you have been completely absorbed with. Do you want to talk about that a bit?
It is a game that I have completed, and I'm going probably in the wake of everything that's happening. I may fire it up again to do a 100% run through.
Nice.
Yeah, I want a 100% Red Dead, which is not an easy thing to do. I think I'm entering into like a 6-month project here.
Oh yeah, 100%ing a Rockstar game is no joke. No joke.
But I love Red Dead Redemption. It's like probably the best game I've played this year so far.
It's great. It's fantastic. Stardew Valley is the next one on the list, which is, of course, a farming sim. But it doesn't stop there. There is a dark underbelly of Stardew Valley. This is a deep and intricate game. This place is detailed. The characters are detailed. There's so much going on here. You could explore Stardew Valley for a long time before you really discovered everything that there was to see. True. And there are people to interact with, and it's fantastic. Stardew Valley will take over your life. And of course, you know what else takes over your life? Sea of Thieves.
Ah, yes.
Yes, it's taken over mine. It's all we do anymore.
And
I love
mine.
it. It's what we're gonna do. It's what we're gonna do as soon as we wrap up the show. So let's get
Yeah.
this moving.
Can you just wrap this up?
Yeah.
Wrap this up.
What's the next one, Vendor?
I tacked this one on the end. X-Plane 11, or actually, I should say, by extension, any flight simulator, or truck simulator, whatever. But flight simulator specifically because a lot of flights are grounded. So if you want to,
Right.
distract yourself from the real world and you like flying, you can always participate in a flight simulator, or watch somebody like 787 Centauri, who's in the chat right now, who streams a lot of flight sim as well. So.
Fabulous. So those are some games to help you survive a quarantine. We wish you all good luck. And yeah, let us know what games you're playing while you're spending more time at home. Vendor, we had one listener email. Why don't you read it for us?
Yeah, we have an email from my kin, 4Mile. She writes, okay, here I am sending you an email and letting you guys know that you are all amazing and the podcast just keeps getting better and better.
We
So
love you
thank
too,
you for that
4Mile.
quick message. If you guys would like to send us an email, all you have to do is send an email to info@wejustlovegames.com and we will read them out on the show. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Vendor. Did you have anything else today?
That's pretty much it, Shalene.
All right, let's go play some Sea of Thieves. But before that, everybody, next week, be right back here, same bat time, same bat channel. For that Fallout Show podcast, we're going to talk about whatever Fallout news happens between now and again, and whatever Fallout hijinks we get into, and post-apocalyptic things. Email us.
Between this Fallout and the real Fallout.
Right. We'll have another COVID update for you, almost certainly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can email us, as Vendor said, at info@wejustlovegames.com. info@wejustlovegames.com. Find us on Twitter at WeJustLoveGames. I am Shalene L, SHALINEL. Rick is not here, but you should all go and tweet him that heart, happy face emoji. Tweet him a happy face emoji.
With in quotations, Halo on the couch? ?
Rick McVick, Halo on the couch? ? It's great.
Yeah.
And you can tweet at Vendortron at VendortronN. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/WeJustLoveGames, facebook.com/groups/WeJustLoveGames. We have an active, fantastic, incredible Discord server where the community gets together. You can find that link on our Twitch page. And if you can't find it on the Twitch page, just send us a message on any other social media. We'll get to that link. We record the show live at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames. We're on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I think we're on Alexa. We're everywhere. Everywhere podcasts are given away. Like, subscribe, review on your platform of choice. It helps the show grow. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening. Vendor, do you have a last word?
There's a skelly ship off our port side. Sails full floof.